so it sort of covered this tune, but it just seems to sort of get everywhere. And with Rachmaninoff's piece, this is obviously for solo piano. He wrote it for himself to play. He was also the sort of Paganini of the piano world.
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
But didn't he have massive hands?
Massive hands, yeah, yeah.
I mean, so I've got pretty big hands, but his were, at least he could reach another two
12,
notes.
I think. He
12?
could reach, yeah.
He was a pretty big man. He was a very tall man,
Yes.
wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, yeah.
So a 12th, so most people can get an 8th, which is an octave,
Yes.
possibly a 9th, and he could reach a 12th, which if next time you just go into any piano store and just go and try and count the notes, and then you'll see how big his hands were.
But this is one of the pieces he wrote when he was really spending most of the time in America, touring, playing. I mean, what's extraordinary about Rachmaninoff is that he did only write a handful of pieces in the last 25 years of his life, because he had this amazing schedule of being this incredible piano soloist.
Yes.
And the fact that he's such a benchmark, isn't he? I mean, I think a lot of people find, I mean, obviously with Paganini, it's impossible to know what Paganini sounded like and what he was really like. With Rachmaninoff, we have recordings.
Yes.
And I think,
And this piece,
but unusually with a lot of composers, I think a lot of pianists do want to hear them. They want to hear what he did with it. Shostakovich is just wedded to his environment, isn't he? I mean, in every possible way. You know, he's absolutely squarely Russian. Of course he is in his music and his use of folk music from his country and so on. But also, of course, completely bound by the politics.
Yeah. When was the first time you realized you were listening to Shostakovich?
Actually, when I was 13, I was playing it in a youth orchestra. And I didn't know who is Shostakovich. I didn't know what I'm actually going to play because I was a child. Well, with 13, maybe not anymore, but I just, you know, experience myself with the music. And I sat there and I got completely, I don't know, I got afraid, I got completely emotional and also very moved because this music has so much, it's grotesque, it's sad, it's deep. It can be also beautiful, funny maybe. And all this together is something which I really like, this combination in the music. And also what I heard actually about Shostakovich is that he earned his living by playing like for
films.
Films, yeah, but silent films. And in silent films you always have these, you know, these hard cuts or, well, in every movie actually, or fade outs, like also like these suddenly changing pictures, and that's also what I hear actually in his music, these sudden changes all the time. I don't know if he was inspired by that. It's just like something what I felt a bit. And
can you remember what piece it was that you were playing, what symphony?
It was, I think it was the 7th. But what I can remember really well was the 6th last year with the Concertgebouw. You also played.
I was also playing,
Klaus Mekele. And it was the same feeling, just a bit, I understood maybe a bit more, also with the politics behind, so it catches you maybe even more with that. But I have to say, actually, even though I didn't know so much about politics when I was 13, it caught me the same emotionally.
This is one of those important moments, key moments in Russian history, this revolutionary group of workers that wanted to protest essentially about their conditions, went to see the Tsar, Nicholas II. He wasn't there, but he'd organised for these workers to be slaughtered, to be shot.
Because they were asking for better conditions, we assume.
And it really, many people see it as the beginning, really, of the revolution.
They call it
So
Bloody Sunday.
Bloody Sunday. And
Shostakovich has a way of making us all very aware of what happened on that day, and he does that with the side drum. And the side drum represents the machine guns of shooting these poor workers. Why don't we have a look and see what I'm talking about?
Pretty exciting, isn't it? I mean, I think with Shostakovich, he's one of those composers. Yes, it's great to know the story behind it, and this music is pretty programmatic in a sense.
Yes.
that he's describing, as you said, he's describing scenes essentially through music. But even if you don't know anything at all about the story, it's still such exciting music to listen to.
Yes.